Welcome to the It's in Queens podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, and this is the only podcast that focuses on my borough of Queens. This podcast comes to you each week thanks to the Queens Tourism Council and the Queens Economic Development Corporation. Together, they present our borough as a destination filled with unique experiences, opportunities for everyone who lives here, works here, or is just visiting, and amazing cultural gems. With Labor Day now behind us, the calendar turns and that unmistakable September energy fills the air. The city shakes off the long days of summer and leans into a season of renewal. Students return to classrooms, professionals settle back into their routines, and neighbors reconnect after vacations. Queens in the fall is so much more. It's an invitation to rediscover the borough through the vibrant lens of arts and culture. Autumn in Queens is all about discovery. It's the season for wandering through street fairs or exploring pop-up galleries, encountering performances that challenge and delight. Whether it's tasting global cuisines at a festival or finding a new favorite artist at an outdoor or indoor event, this is a time when the borough's cultural mosaic shines the brightest. Among the places leading Queen's creativity charge is 3 a.m. Theater, a venue and company in Astoria that's redefining what a performance can be. Housed in a converted factory, 3 a.m. Theater curates programming that fuses circus arts, modern dance, physical theater, and experimental music, serving as a playground for artists and audiences eager for boundary-pushing experiences. So this week, the spotlight is on Logan Kerr and Kyle Driggs, two integral figures at 3 a.m. Theater's latest ventures, artists who embody the spirit of innovation and cross-disciplinary collaboration. I recently talked with them about the season ahead, and here's that interview. Logan Kerr and Kyle Driggs, welcome to the It's in Queens podcast.
Hey, Jeff, it's so great to see you. How are you?
How's it going?
So, Logan, let's start with you. Talk a little about the story behind the founding of 3 a.m. Theater in Queens and what drew you both to Astoria as your home base.
Yeah, so 3M Theater originally started in 2018, and the main goal then was kind of creating this home for contemporary circus, for modern dance and physical theater. And these are art forms that often live in separate worlds. They don't always mix, and they don't always have like their own dedicated stages in New York. So from the beginning, we've been like really inspired to create what we think of as this fourth genre. It's this blend of circus, of dance, and of theater, because each form, each genre brings its own unique language. So combining them, it opens up all these endless possibilities for innovation and storytelling. So ultimately, like 3M Theater is this massive playground for us. We get to create and test ideas and push boundaries and kind of explore these new artistic territories without confines that we sometimes have to deal with in New York. And to further that, in 2023, so just 2 years ago, we opened our first physical venue and rehearsal studio here in Astoria, because we were looking for a space that was both intimate, that was collaborative, but also still outside of the usual performance corridors that sometimes exist. So we found that Astoria has this perfect blend of creative energy, of diversity, and this really unique, deep history of art making, because we're surrounded by these film studios, we're surrounded by community theaters, and it just felt right to kind of add our own chapter to that story. It feels like a place here that we can both fit in, but also stand out in a really special way.
And Kyle, I'd love for you to add to that because what Logan did was talk about the beginning and then a big chapter, a new chapter in 2023. But I'm sure there are other points along the evolutionary timeline that you'd like to highlight as well to talk a little about the growth and evolution.
Yeah, when we first opened our venue, it was this like raw open space full of possibilities. And I remember in those early years, it was really about collaboration. It was about how friends could rehearse together, how we could test new ideas, and how we can, put on small invite only shows. And that time really it was key in shaping our aesthetic, and it clarified for us how we wanted to exist in the performing arts world. And then over time, as we invested in lighting and seating and sound equipment and things like this, we created a more immersive experience, and we could produce like professional level performances. And, we've grown from this like shared lab into a fully operating venue, production company, touring ensemble. We're doing all the things, which has been really, really fun. Um, and since we've opened, we've launched 2 in-house performance series residencies. We've welcomed over 25 circus, dance, and theater productions, and hosted 5 residencies for emerging performing arts groups. And now we're super excited to be expanding again. We're like actually in the process of opening a brand new rehearsal space right next to our venue.
I was going to say, then let's just jump right into that. I don't know if Logan wants to add to that or if you want to continue, because this is really a great new chapter.
Yeah, it's really huge. It's both like this huge scary unknown in some ways, but it's also like I don't know that we can express how much it feels like the right thing and like the most exciting thing to just keep growing and building on what we've kind of started already.
Yeah.
And what's so exciting also is you really are rooted in the Queens community. So, Logan, I'd love to continue with you about how you approach collaboration with artists and the local community.
Yeah, I think we've been really, really fortunate. And so in a lot of ways, it kind of feels like we've had to shift from doing a lot of outreach and trying to be like, we're here, this is who we are, to now we're like trying to keep up with that the momentum that we're getting. So we're like trying to keep up with our own our own gears that have been turning. And so we've been super fortunate. We've had so many artists reach out to us, and we've had so much collaboration come straight from here in Queens. And so over time, probably in like the last year and a half or so, especially, we've built these really beautiful relationships with this reciprocal energy. And so, like as we open our doors and like support these artists and bring them in and they bring their art to us, we're able to like grow our audience based on their fan bases, our networks expand, our creative conversations get to deepen in this really meaningful way. And then we get to experience these ongoing, very organic exchanges with these groups and these artists. And it's a way for us to kind of listen to what the community is excited about, whether it's dance or circus or theater, and then to offer our space and our resources and find ways to make all of these ideas exist and happen. So every connection we make is adding something new and really special to our own creative ecosystem and world.
And you mentioned what the community gets excited about. I'd love to know, Kyle, what you're excited about this fall, because I work with a lot of cultural organizations and they're really gearing up for a busy fall. So, what are you most looking forward to this fall?
Yeah, we are as well. We have a very exciting fall season ahead. In September, we're thrilled to be continuing our in-house series of First Light and W3AM. Those are our 2 in-house series. And we're going to be welcoming a performance called Dinner Party by Michelle Thompson, as well as Mom by Shira Levine. In October, we're going to be premiering an all-new work created by 3AM Theater, a piece called Conventum. It's a new contemporary circus production inspired by mountaineering, Greek mythology, and the psychological and emotional transformations that happen on intense journeys.
Mountaineering?
Yeah, mountaineering, exactly. We have something really special in store for this one. We're really drawing from these very specific worlds and combining circus within them. It's going to be a really visually striking work. It has 6 circus artists and a live percussionist. It's an experience we've been working towards for months now, and yeah, we're slated to premiere it in October. So we're really excited about releasing this out into the world.
And I want to build on this because for, many people, I know what's in my immediate neighborhood, but I might not know what's in Astoria, for instance. So for anyone who stumbles across this podcast or hears from a friend about 3AM Theater, what do you want them? I'll start with you, Kyle. What do you want them to know most about 3AM Theater, about what they can expect if they step into your world? And then I want to hear Logan's point of view to see if you two agree.
I want people to know about us that we produce and create our own work. So we're definitely putting our own artistic vision out there as a company, as a venue, and you can see that in our shows and in our in-house venues. But also as a venue, we have a lot of surprises in store for what we program and what we welcome and collaborate with to present to audiences in our space. So we try to, if what we do as a company specifically isn't your cup of tea, I really, really hope that somehow, somewhere in our programming, you'll find something that is. And that's our goal, to just kind of create surprising programming from ourselves and from other performing arts companies.
Anything you'd like to add, Logan?
Of course. I think it makes me think about something that we overhear or we get told a lot at the end of performances, whether it's our own like in-house performance or after an invited show. But people will often say, like, either they'll walk in and be like, oh, whoa, I was not expecting this, or they'll leave being like, wow, that was really incredible. I didn't know this existed. And I've lived in Astoria for X number of years. And so I think a big thing that I want people to know is that, first of all, we're here, that this little intimate, very jewel box of a theater exists in some people's backyards. For us, it truly is kind of in our backyard. And that, like Kyle said, it's not just our programming, which is sometimes very specific, but we invite so many shows, so many people come to us. And then also with this new space, we're going to start hosting workshops. We're going to have like invited artists and from all genres, from dance and theater and circus. So I think more than ever, there's just something for everybody here.
And let me continue on that because you mentioned the new space.
Yeah.
How does the space shape the creativity and the energy of 3 a.m. Theater's performances?
Good question.
So, our venue and this new rehearsal studio right next door, it's in the cigar lofts in Astoria. And these rooms, they have this raw industrial character. They have really high ceilings, exposed beams, and that allows us to that informs our creative process so deeply, just the way the space is set up and the layout and everything. And we try to design everything to be modular. The seating's modular. Our set pieces all are on wheels, so we can reconfigure the space on a dime's notice, and kind of depending on whatever is coming in. I don't know if dime's notice is good. We may have to take that one again.
No, you know what? This is raw. Okay,
yeah,
anyway.
It's raw.
Exactly.
To get back to no, it's okay. Because the venue is so intimate, a lot of our performances, they end up feeling like a tiny desk version in a way, and that has this character and charm to it that we've come to love over the past 2 years.
And I agree with you. One of the theater companies I work with works with neurodiverse players. And I tell people about this and they don't know what to expect. And then same thing as what Logan mentioned, people afterwards are like, I can't believe how moved I was. I didn't expect this. It really is first getting people to just come in the door. You might not know what you're going to like or enjoy. For many people, it might be trying just something new. And then they realize, oh, I want to become a member or I want to come back.
Exactly. And what we hope with this new space particularly offers is they can come back in a new kind of way. They can not only come back as an audience, but they can come back as somebody who might want to participate in a workshop, in a dance class, in a community outreach event, and get to try some of these things for themselves. So that's really this extension we're trying to expand into, which is really exciting for us.
And before I start to close, I'll start with you, Logan, because I want you both to just like sell 3 a.m. theater to anyone who's listening right now on why they should go to, and one of you should make sure you give the website too, where people should go to learn more, to follow, to get involved. Logan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, if you want to learn more, if you want to see what we're up to, keep in touch, know what's coming and what you can expect. Our website is a good place to start, 3amtheater.com. We post everything and more on our Instagram. That's kind of our main form of communication with the public. And that's just at 3am Theater. And we share a lot of behind the scenes stuff there, a bunch of show announcements, upcoming season, and then everything associated with this new space is also linked into 3am, at 3am on Instagram.
And Kyle, anything you'd like to add before I close?
Yeah, another great way to interact with us is to come check us out in person, to come to our space, see one of our shows. We have a lot of great stuff coming up in September and October, a lot of fun new programming that we're opening up to. So really, that's a great way to come check us out.
And on that note, Logan Kerr and Kyle Driggs, I want to thank you so much for appearing here on this week's It's in Queens podcast.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Jeff.
Such a pleasure.
3 a.m. Theater is not just remarkable for its performances, it's a community hub for creative exploration. Now, a visit to their website unveils a robust calendar. Audiences can find amazing shows, behind-the-scenes videos, artist portfolios, even opportunities to take part in classes and workshops. Now, of course, the borough's treasures don't end there. Queens is bursting with new experiences all season long. Let's turn things over to Rob Mackay for a roundup of the borough's most exciting upcoming events and highlights. Rob is with the QTC and the QEDC, and he has his finger on the pulse of the borough. Here's this week's report.
Hey, Jeff, I'm going to send you out to the Queens County Farm Museum this week because the amazing maze is about to return. That's a very triumphant return, I might add. It's the biggest corn labyrinth in New York City, and those who dare to check it out will get a total adventure, which begins with a stock talk to prepare participants for the challenge of finding clues and solving puzzles and making their way to Victory Bridge, which is where it all ends, and where there's a stunning view of the 3-acre labyrinth right there. It opens this Saturday during the larger Corn Festival, which is also kind of fun at Queens Farm. And then it'll operate on Saturdays and Sundays until October 26th with a few special Halloween times and the famous Maze by Moonlight on 2 nights. Great thing for adults, great thing for groups, great thing for children. All around, it's a lot of fun. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Thanks, Rob. That is just a sample of all that's happening in Queens. Remember, the place to go and discover everything that's on the horizon is at the It's in Queens website at itsinqueens.com. And if you're interested in business-related news, head over to the QEDC's website at queensny.org. And when you're there, or when you visit the It's in Queens website, take a moment, sign up for their newsletters. You'll get notified right in your inbox about opportunities on the horizon. And this season, when you visit any place in Queens, snap some photos, share them with us. Make sure when you post on Instagram or X that you use the hashtag #It'sInQueens, because your photo could become our photo of the week. Remember, Queens is alive with opportunity this season, from sidewalk celebrations to innovative performances. So make some time to explore, engage, and share those special moments. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, and here's to a season of discovery, creativity, and community. Have a wonderful fall.